Record. Okay. So I pretty much tailored this Goals with Soul to kind of what I did a live on earlier today and just kind of what's come up in our Claim Your Space. But I figured that I would do a recording for everybody, for the ladies in Sacred Space too, so they can get an idea of kind of what Goals with Soul is, a little bit about desire mapping. And this is a really great intro for you guys because, as Steph just saw, you get the Desire Map book and workbook to use during personal retreat week next week. And so this is going to kind of give you just an opening to it. It can feel like super overwhelming at first. And so I want to really just like expose you to this to kind of get you thinking. And you guys are already thinking in these terms of how is it making me feel, and you're better at identifying your feelings, and you're better at identifying when things are coming up in your life that are stressing you out or holding you back from being able to succeed, whether it's a friendship or a relationship or something that's happened in your past, whatever it is. Those are the things that we're going to kind of bring up a little bit tonight and try to figure out how we can push past them, because we are coming to the close of, this is the last evening of May. I can't believe it's already going to be June tomorrow, but June brings about summer for everybody. And so we're pretty much going into a new season, even though the solstice isn't until a few weeks from now, but we are pretty much entering into a new season. June, July, and August is usually what we think of for summer, a little bit of September too. And I feel like we can need to leave a lot of things kind of in the past from the spring and winter. I know that we had a really rough spring and winter here, weather-wise, in the Pacific Northwest. And for me, I need to kind of leave that in the past. And this weekend was a good reminder of, for me, that there was a lot of good things that are coming with warmer weather and family time and being outside and being able to enjoy life. And so I'm going to walk you guys through a little bit of a goal setting and visualization to help you kind of get rid of those things that are holding you back right now and help you set some more goals for yourself. We won't go into specific goal setting because I think that that's very individualized, and that's why I do workshops about this that are all day long, like 8 hours worth, or we do 6 of an hour long calls if I do it virtually, and it's a lot more in depth. You guys in Claim Your Space will see that during the personal retreat week, that it's a lot more to this, but this is how we kind of start it. And so I'm going to dive into Goals with Soul for this end of a season and entering into a new one. So sometimes the whole goal setting experience is really dampened in many ways by our insecurities, our fears, our self-doubt. And there's that whole idea of, there's no way in heck I can make this happen. Like, how can I even do this? Like, how am I even worthy of doing this? How am I going to pull this off? I know me and Christine deal with this a lot when we're trying to come up with ideas and implement things in our businesses, because just like we were talking before we started the recording, just with finances and where is the money coming from and when's the money going to come, and just being able to trust it. All of these goal setting things bring up these ideas. So for instance, they also bring up the idea of, okay, well, if I set this goal and I put it out there into the universe, what if I fail? Because we all know that we deal with failure in different ways, and we all struggle with failure. And so I'm going to give you guys a little bit different approach to how to set goals without bringing up all of those feelings of failure and panic and insecurities and fear and self-doubt. Those things are going to come in. We're going to feel them, but we're going to make sure that we shift that before we actually set a goal. So because those things restrict us from being able to really embrace the possibilities that can lead to these amazing soul experiences. So for instance, the girls in Claim Your Space, when you signed up for Claim Your Space, it probably felt a little scary to let yourself sign up for something that was going to be like a goal of yours, is to work on yourself. Like, that's pretty freaking scary to put yourself out there. But I'm sure that the lifetime access kind of helped with that, to know, okay, well, I have a whole lot of time to be able to figure this out. And I've had to remind you guys of that too, that it's not just you have to do it now. You don't have a goal. There's no goal time to finish these things. We're on a journey to work on our life for a long time. So what I want us to do right now is kind of detox those ideas of the fact that goals bring up all these issues, and then we feel like failure if we don't reach those goals. So we're going to go through a little state of a visualization. So if you're able to, if you're not able to, that's fine. I really don't want Christine to run her finger into the sewing machine. So I just want you to go more into like a state of mindfulness at this point, and maybe closing your eyes isn't the best for you in this place because maybe it brings up some issues. So just however you feel comfortable, but I just want you to get into a state of mindfulness and awareness of these questions that I'm going to ask you. So what are you carrying today that feels super heavy to you right now? What is something that has been going on in the month of May, or maybe it's been going on for years, maybe it's been going on for just a few days, whatever it is that's really holding you back from being able to, rock your life in many ways. There's always going to be something that feels a little bit heavy, a little bit of out of place. Maybe it feels heavy on your shoulders. I know in our call with Lynn and even our call with Annabelle, we talk about those things, those times where it feels heavy on our chest or on our shoulders, in our back, in our lower back. What are those things that really make you just feel heavy and weird? Maybe it makes you feel depressed, anxious, upset. So I really want you to think about that one thing. It might be a series of things, but I want you to narrow it down to just one thing that's making you feel very heavy right now. And then I just want you to think about what are those feelings that come up because of that. So I'll give an example. For me, this spring, I guess we'll just stick with winter into spring. I was pregnant, but it left me, and so I was blessed with that, obviously, but it left me with a lot of feelings too of that anxiousness of remembering my first pregnancy and bringing up those things of that I had to have a C-section after 30 plus hours of labor, and feeling that heaviness. It also brought up some issues from my past with my ex that seem to come up anytime that I'm struggling, whether he's not around anymore, but it just kind of comes back into my life. So I start to feel those feelings of anxiousness. Luckily, my hormones are kind of balanced out pretty well with my pregnancy, which is really lucky for me right now, or I would be in an anxious bottle of craziness right now. So being aware of what those feelings are is maybe causing you to be a little bit more upset right now. Maybe it's causing you to be depressed. Maybe it's causing you to lash out at a family member or your child, or lash out at some friends. What is it that it's making you feel? So what is that heavy thing? How is it making you feel? And I want us to just take a moment and truly honor those feelings, because that's what I always tell you guys to do, is to take that time to own it, to say it, that I feel this way because of this. This is what's holding me back right now. I feel this way because of this. And I want you to just close your eyes or be mindful and say that to yourself. Say that to yourself. If you're muted, say it to yourself out loud if you're able to. What is that thing that makes you feel heavy? And then how is it making you feel right now? Truly honor those feelings. So now we've honored it. It's there. It's out there. We put it in the universe. Half of the struggle is just saying it, just owning up to it. If you feel like you need more time to honor these feelings after this, obviously I'm doing this in a little bit faster pace than I normally would. I want you to go back to that and truly give some time to honor that. Maybe you need a day. Maybe you need 2 days. Maybe you need the rest of the week. But I want you to kind of cap it off at the rest of this week. I want you to set a time limit to feel those feelings, because it's time for a new season and it's time for some change for you. And I know that you want to feel better. And so I want you to kind of honor that it's time to cut that off. It doesn't mean that it's gone. It doesn't mean that you need to forgive that person. It doesn't mean that that thing is completely gone into oblivion. It can still be there, but you are consciously choosing to honor that you feel this way, honor that it's causing you problems, and you're ready to make a shift. So that's all you have to do tonight, is just be ready to make a shift in those feelings. And make that shift that you're going to carry something different now. You're not going to carry that heavy burden around with you everywhere you go. Maybe it's in a little box on your table that you see every now and then, but it's not with you on your shoulders like a backpack going with you everywhere you go. So that's what we're kind of trying to do right now, because I don't want you to think that if you're having this insane major issue in your life, that it's just going to go away, because it's not. But it's all about how you consciously want to be aware of it. So now I want you to take a moment and either write it down or consciously feel what that item is that's holding you back, that's feeling heavy. And if you don't have a piece of paper, like I said, just visualize it. I wrote mine down earlier. And we are going to literally rip it up. We're going to rip it up, or if you want to burn it, you can do whatever you want to do it. Just don't burn down your house. And if you do not have a piece of paper and a pen to write it down, I want you to literally just think about it, visualize it in your hands, and just like throw it in the air, because it's going to be gone for now. And we're going to get rid of it, because that is really important to do so you can move forward. So I have mine written down on here. If I can rip this piece of paper, I'm going to rip it up. We're going to get rid of it. And when I get downstairs, I'm going to throw it in the garbage with the poopy diapers, because I won't go there and I won't touch that. So that is going to be physically gone from us right now. So it's not on us currently. And now we're going to make a really big shift. Maybe it's a small shift. Maybe it's a big shift, whatever it is, depending on what you got rid of right now that you're carrying around. And I want us now to make a shift into something that's more peaceful and loving to carry into the world. So I was holding a lot of anxiety based off of this pregnancy, based off of my old pregnancy, and based off of just, feelings of self-doubt. I guess that's like the ultimate one, is not trusting my body, not trusting myself. And so that's what, pretty much what I gave up in a nutshell. And so I want to move forward with feelings that are more peaceful and calm. I want to be able to continue into my second trimester and third trimester with a more positive mindset, enjoying the time that I have with my daughter as my only child right now, enjoying the time with my husband before we take on another little human into this world, and just enjoying life. That's what I want to do. I want to feel lighter and freer, to be able to do that without that carrying that burden on my back. So I want you to think about, how do you want to feel now that that element is gone? How do you want to feel? How do you want to shift so you can feel more peaceful, more loving, more whatever it is you want to as you move forth in this world? Think about that. Write it down if you feel like you need to. And sometimes it's really hard for us to identify feelings without really thinking about it. Maybe only one came to your mind, or you don't feel like it's the right feeling necessarily. You don't feel like you can put your finger on it. So what I want to do next is I'm going to kind of go through, I'm going to actually, if I can do this and make it work, I'm going to play a song. Let's see here. And we're going to just kind of listen to that, and I'm going to ask you some questions, and I just want you to write down, see if this is not too loud. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do a spot. Okay. And I'm going to just read a series of questions to you guys, and I want you to just think about the feeling that kind of comes to mind for that, because maybe that's what you need to feel this week and as we move into June. So how do you want to feel when you look at your schedule for the week? So you're planning out your schedule for the week, what you need to do for the week. How do you want to feel when you look at it once it's completed? How do you want to feel when you get dressed in the morning? I know sometimes that can bring up a lot of like anxiety when you get dressed. Maybe it makes you feel like you're not the weight you want to be, not the look you want to feel, maybe not the clothes you want. But if all that was gone, how would you want to feel when you got dressed in the morning? And if you work or go to a job, how do you want to feel when you walk through the door of your office? When you walk in, how do you want to feel? And if you work from home or a stay-at-home mom, how do you want to feel when you wake up and when you enter into your day? How do you want to feel when you pick up the phone to talk to a friend? How do you want to feel when you are cuddling with your significant other? How do you want to feel when the sun hits your face? And then lastly, how do you want to feel when that burden is lifted? Okay, so now you should have some more feeling words that you can utilize. These possibly are what I like to call your core desired feelings, because a lot of these things are going to come up in any situation that I might ask you. Because we ultimately want to feel certain ways at certain seasons of our lives. I actually was redoing my core desired feelings the other day and realized that some of them have kind of changed since the beginning of the year, and that's perfectly fine. That's why we do Goals with Soul every month, because it's important for us to check in to see how, we've changed. Have we grown this season? Have we kind of gone backwards this season? What has changed for us this year? What has changed for us in this last month that we've been together? So I really encourage you to remember those words, whether you wrote it down or not, and really honor them every day, because it's so important for us to be mindful of them. And what I usually do in my in-person little groups or my virtual ones for the core desired feelings and desire amount is that at the end of that little section, we do a few more questions that I ask, but we actually all say our core desired feelings out loud for a certain period of time and just kind of hear all of those words. We just rotate in a circle, hearing all of those feelings and honoring all of those feelings and making sure that they've been said and put out into the universe for all of us as a group. So we won't really do that right now since everybody's in a different space, but I encourage you daily to say them out loud. I say them every day when I wake up, whether it's right when I wake up or just right after I brush my teeth, whenever I find a moment. But mine are joy, connected, expansion, and love. And I just make sure that I say that to myself, and that I also add a little bit in there and say, universe, I hope today that I will honor these feelings of connectedness, joy, love, and expansion in everything that I do. And then I check back in with myself at the end of the day and just say, did I feel love? Did I feel connected? Did I feel expansion? Did I feel joy today? And sometimes I don't feel all of those things, but sometimes I do. And so I really want you guys to make sure that you're mindful of it, because just that mindfulness of those words will help you shift in those little things every single day. So like this morning, you guys, the ladies in Claim, I felt, and Christine and me both touched base, that we felt like everybody's like struggling right now and needed a little bit of stuff. So, I just kind of put it down to the universe, how can I help these ladies get more connected with their feelings so they can feel less of a burden? And then I heard this thing about, I was listening to this, I said in a live earlier, I was listening to this lady, Joy Kingsborough, and she was talking about, what are you carrying right now that's really heavy? And that kind of led me to this. But just being mindful of those, like I felt recently that I wasn't feeling, I think I shared this last week on the call I forgot to record, that I wasn't feeling connected in my spiritual journey. And so I put that out into the universe. And then I met my friend Mia, and then she told me to go to her church, and now I feel a little more connected in my spiritual journey. And then that led to actually some conversations with some friends that I used to be in youth group with, just kind of came out of the blue. So just being mindful of these things is so important. So Steph said that hers are prepared, powerful, rested, joy, confident, love, grateful, grounded, connection. Those are beautiful. And Christine says confident, easy, calm, joy, love, passion, abundance. These are so important to honor. So thank you for sharing those with me tonight and with the group. And I hope that if you're watching this recording, that you share your own in the comments so we can get an idea of what your desired feelings currently are. And if you have more than like 4, you can easily narrow those down if you just keep kind of being mindful of that. What are those ones that you really want to feel as you keep moving forward in your month and your year? So you can really make a very strong intention of those daily. So thank you for sharing those. I also I'm going to close with this, and then our Claim ladies, I'm going to give you the other link so we can record that separately because I don't want our personal stuff to be recorded that way. But this is just how I usually end my calls with desire mapping. I want you to take those words that you came up with, write them down, and then I want you to write something that's a goal that involves that. So for instance, like Christina has confident. So maybe she wants to work on being more confident in her personal training business, or maybe she wants to work on being more confident in speaking she's pretty confident in speaking in groups, but maybe speaking in more, more environments. Calm, maybe that would be for somebody that you want to make a goal to work on making sure that you have a little bit more meditation or yoga in your daily routine. So it doesn't have to be a time-bound goal, but more just a goal that is going to serve your soul. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but that's what it is. Like for me, for Connected, I knew that had to do with my spiritual journey, but not just that. Like Connected this year has brought about so much. I was connected with Christine, and we started this beautiful journey of a business together, and that led to being connected to all of you wonderful women. And so you never know where it's going to lead, but just having that intention, that goal, that intentional goal to help you move forward. So Stephanie said, grounded. And so, how can you work on being grounded. Maybe it's working with some essential oils to be mindful on a daily basis, to ground yourself in and do a grounding technique that I can share some with you. Being grateful for the beautiful things that are in your life. So I really want you guys to be mindful of doing that. Okay, so Tammy said, love, grateful, positive, confident, and productive. Love it. Love it. So I think these are wonderful things to share, ladies. So going into goals after this, what I want you guys to do, sorry, I heard feedback. Excuse me. What I want you guys to do now is just to listen to me. I'm going to say a quick little saying that we do at the end of most of our little desire map things, and just kind of take this time to close your intention of being here tonight and then get excited about moving into the month of June. So you are worthy of your desires. Really wanting what you want gives you the power to get it. You are born free. The more you try to earn your freedom, the more trapped you became. You are worthy of love and respect. Lovable. You deserve eye contact, smiles in the morning, food made with pure intention, clean drinking water, fresh air, hello, please, thank you, time to think about it, a chance to show them what you're made of, a second chance, an education, health care, including dental, multiple orgasms, weekends off, 8 hours of sleep, play before work, to change your mind, to say no, to say yes, to have your deepest needs met, to be seen, to be loved for who you really are. You deserve all of this and more just because you showed up to life. So I thank you guys for joining me for Goals with Soul for May, and I'm really excited to hear about how you grow and change in the month of June and how you have utilized your core desired feelings as you move forward. I'm glad that you loved it. Thank you, Tammy. So I'm going to post the link. I'm going to end the recording. So thank you guys.